Hey folks, what's up? So today I thought that I would share with you one of my favorite books from my childhood. And the reason why I'm sharing this particular book with you today is that today, November 20th, is exactly 40 years that the original children's poem collection that is Shel Silverstein's, you know it, Where the Sidewalk Ends. Since it's the 40th anniversary of this classic book, I thought I would, tell you a little bit about who Shel Silverstein was and, of course, read some of my favorite all-time poems. To most of you, the name Shel Silverstein resonates through you immediately, though there are some of you who probably never heard of this name. And that's alright, because I'm going to tell you a little bit about who this man was. Shel Silverstein was born on September 25th, 1930 in Chicago, Illinois. Shel Silverstein has gone on throughout his lifetime to write many classic children's novels, including his most famous 1964's The Giving Tree. Shel is also known for his 3 poem collections, including Where the Sidewalk Ends, 1981's A Light in the Attic, and 1996's Falling Up. Along with writing these classic poems and children's stories, Shel Silverstein also illustrated every single one of his books. Shel Silverstein unfortunately passed away on May 10th, 1999. But his legacy continues to live on. So that was a little bit about who Shel Silverstein was, and now we get into the most important thing about this video, reading some of these classic poems. Invitation. If you're a dreamer, come in. If you're a dreamer, a wisher, a liar, a hoper, a prayer, a magic bean buyer, if you're a pretender, come sit by my fire, for we have some flax golden tales to spin. Come in. Come in. Hug of War. I will not play a tug of war, I rather play a hug of war, where everyone hugs instead of tugs, where everyone giggles and rolls on the rug, where everyone kisses and everyone grins and everyone cuddles and everyone wins. Us. Me and him and me, we're always together, as you can see. I wish he'd leave so I'd be free. I'm getting a little bit tired of he, and he may be a bit bored with me. On movies and ladies, we cannot agree. I like to dance, he loves to ski. He likes the mountains, I love the sea. I like hot chocolate, he wants his tea. I want to sleep, he has to pee. He's meaner and duller and fatter than me. But I guess there's worse things we could be. Instead of 2, we could be 3. Me and him and me. The longest nose in the world belongs to Miss Betsy Bluebonnet, who lets me write things on it. For sale. One sister for sale, one sister for sale, one crying, spying young sister for sale. I'm really not kidding, who'll start the bidding war? Do I hear $1, a nickel, a penny? Oh, isn't there any one kid who'll buy this old sister for sale, this crying and spying young sister for sale? Have you heard of tiny Melinda May, who ate a monstrous whale? She thought she could, she said she would. So she started right at the tail. And everyone said, you're much too small. But that didn't bother Melinda at all. She took little bites, she chewed very slow, just like a good girl should. And in 89 years, she ate that whale. Because she would. My all-time favorite, sick. I cannot go to school today, said little Peggy Ann McKay. I have the measles and the mumps, a gash, a rash, and purple bumps. My mouth is wet, my throat is dry, I'm going blind in my right eye. My tonsils are big as rocks, I've counted 16 chicken pox. And there's one more, that's 17, and don't you think my face looks rather green? My leg is cut, my eyes are blue, it might be instamatic flu. I cough and sneeze and gas and choke, I'm sure my left leg is broke. My hip hurts when I move my chin, my belly button's caving in. My back is wrenched, my ankle's sprained, my appendix pain each time it rains. My nose is cold, my toes are numb, I have a sliver in my thumb. My neck is stiff, my voice is weak, I hardly whisper when I speak. My tongue is filling up my mouth, I think my hair is falling out. My elbow's bent, my spine ain't straight, my temperature is 108. My brain is drunk, I cannot hear, there is a hole inside my ear. I have a hangnail in my heart. What? What's that you say? You say today is Saturday? Goodbye! I'm going out to play. This started out as a jumping rope. You'll probably think that I'm a dope, but this started out as a jumping rope, and now I fear there is no hope. But this started out as a jumping rope. Please do not make fun of me, and please do not laugh. It isn't easy to write a poem on the neck of a running giraffe. Homemade boat. This is a boat that we just built. It's just fine. And don't try to tell us it's not. The sides and backs are divine. It's the bottom, I guess, we forgot. Lazy Jane. Lazy, 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 lazy Jane. She wants a drink of water, so she waits and 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 waits for it to rain. Sarah Cynthia Sylvia Stout would not take the garbage out. Sarah Cynthia Sylvia Stout would not take the garbage out. She scoured the pots and scraped the pans, candied the yams and spiced the hands. And though her daddy would scream and shout, she simply would not take the garbage out. And so it piled up to the ceiling, coffee grounds, potato peelings, brown bananas, rotten peas, chunks of sour cottage cheese. It filled the can, it covered the floor, it cracked the window and blocked the door. With bacon rinds, chicken bones, drippy ends of ice cream cones, pruny pits, peachy pits, orange peel, gloppy glumps of cold oatmeal, pizza crusts, withered greens, soggy beans, and tangerines, crusts of blackburn toast, gristly bits of beefy roast. The garbage rolled down the hall, it raised the roof, it broke the wall. Greasy napkins, cookie crumbs, globs of gooey bubble gum, cellophane from green bologna, rubbery blueberry macaroni, peanut butter, caked and dry, curdled milk, crust of pie, moldy melons, dried up mustard, eggshells mixed with lemon custard, cold french fries with rancid meat, yellow lumps of cream of wheat. At last the garbage reached so high it touched the sky. And all the neighbors moved away, none of her friends would come to play. And finally, Sarah Cynthia Stout said, "Okay, I'll take the garbage out." But then, of course, it was too late. The garbage reached across the state, from New York to the Golden Gate. And there in the garbage she did hate. Poor Sarah met an awful fate that I cannot right now relate, because the hour is much too late. But remember, children, Sarah Stout, and always take the garbage out. Listen to the mustn'ts. Listen to the mustn'ts, child. Listen to the don'ts. Listen to the shouldn'ts, the impossibles, the won'ts. Listen to the never has. Then listen close to me. Anything can happen, child. Anything can be. And last but not least, the classic, Where the Sidewalk Ends. I bet you didn't know that the Canadian group Silverstein, for which they take their name from the author, song Forever and a Day, quotes this poem. It's true, go look it up. But not now, I'm going to read it. There is a place where the sidewalk ends, and before the street begins. And there the grass grows soft and white, and the bright sun burns crimson bright. And there the moonbird rests from his flight, to cool in the peppermint wind. Let us leave this place where the smoke blows black, and the dark street winds and bends, past the pits where the asphalt flowers grow. We shall walk with a walk that is measured and slow, and watch where the chalk-white arrows go, to the place where the sidewalk ends. Yes, we'll walk with a walk that is measured and slow, and we'll go where the chalk-white arrows go. For the children they mark, and the children they know, the place where the sidewalk ends. Those were some of my favorite poems, but what are yours? Why don't you let me know in the comments below, because I'm sure everybody has a favorite Shel Silverstein poem. Alright guys, so this has been my little tribute to this classic, which I highly recommend everybody should, get and read, because it's just that good. I think the reason why I keep going back to this particular book, or any book technically written by Shel Silverstein, the author of Where the Sidewalk Ends, is because that it takes you back to a time, it takes you back to your childhood basically, to like where you don't have responsibilities, you didn't really have to do anything, you just had to be yourself. And I think that's the reason why I kind of go back to certain books, or I go back to certain movies all the time, because it takes me back to a better time, a place where, I'd rather be than where I am currently. So it's like, it's always good to go back to your childhood. With this being the classic that it is, there's one thing that has kind of bugged me. None of Shel Silverstein's work, that I know of at least, has been turned into an animated movie or television special. Now, lately, the current trend of turning classic children's novels into movies haven't been the best, but with something like Where the Sidewalk Ends, I would think, a nice animated anthology of not every single poem in this book, but, a nice handful would be nice. Or, instead of making a movie, you could make it into a television special. So I'm kind of wondering, why hasn't any of his stuff been turned into a special or feature film? That's something to, ponder about. Alright guys, so as I said, this has been my little tribute to this classic book. And I think what I'm going to do now is just probably read some more of these classic poems because they're just that good. Alright, so until next time, this is me saying, go get Where the Sidewalk Ends and other Shel Silverstein collections, and read them because they're good, and because reading is also good as well. And I will see you, sometime soon. Alright, till then, take care, and bye.